So we need actually 3 mux. Okay. So let us see the 4:1 mux using 2:1 mux. So when we say 4:1 mux, we should have place for 4 inputs. So I understand that 2:1 mux will be connected on top of each other like this, so that 2 input of this can be called as D0 and D1, and this 2 can be called as D2 and D3. This variable naming is very important. Okay, so we understand that my 4 inputs are there now. Now I should have only one output, but 4:1 mux means 4 input, 1 output. So if I have output of this, I have 2 output, na? But I don't have place for 2 output. I want 1 output only. So the logic says that you will have one more 2:1 mux here, and output of this is your final output. So you have your 4 input here and you have your 1 output here. Okay. Now if I connect these two as the input of my third mux, then you have to see how to establish the connection between D0 to Y, D1 to Y, D2 to Y, D3 to Y with your select line like that. Just now we have seen how select line looks like. If I have this, if S1 and S0 is 0, 0, I should have a connection established from Y to D0. My Y is here, my D0 is here. So where S1 will come, where S0 will come, that is what you have to understand. Okay, that is what you have to understand. So now I will show you that LSB of select line. LSB of select line, if I show here S0, LSB of select line, and MSB of select line, this has also a select line and this also has a select line, right? Both have its own select line. What I will show is, I will go and connect short these both select line. I will short these both select line like this, and I will call it as S1. Now you see what is happening. All of you see carefully on the screen now. See very, very carefully. And what you have to see is, if S0 and S1 both are 0, what will happen? You have to see that if S0 is 0, connection is between the first one to this Y, right? Now when the connection is between the first one to this Y, this second mux becomes redundant because connection is here. Okay, let me show it with okay. I will show when S0 is 0, you have a connection established here, right? And when S1 is also 0, of course, if S0 is 0, this second mux is out of the connection. Only first mux is there in connection. And now if I make S1 also as 0, you know that D0 will get connected. So D0 will get connected here. So can you see, when I make S0 at S1, D0 to Y connection has established.
Can you repeat again? No?
See, S1 and S0 for the connection what I have shown on the screen, you see this way. If S0 is 0, then S0 is 0. For this specific mux, connection is established between output to the first input. You all know 0 means connection from first input, 1 means connection from second input. So if this is 0, connection is established from the first input. There is no connection for the second input. So whatever is connected with this mux number 2, I will call this as mux number 1, mux number 2, and mux number 3. So mux number 3 connection is between the first input and output. And because this second input is not connected, M2 becomes out of the circuit. M2 is not there in the circuit. Now, if I make S1 also 0 for this case, is S1 is 0 and S1 0 means what? First input is connected to output here. So the dotted line shows the connection. Now you can see when S1 and S0 is 0, 0, a connection is established from D0, from M1 to this input from M3 to Y. So D0 to Y connection is established. That is what I wanted for first select line pair for D0. Correct. Now you have to tell me that if I make a 0 here and a 1 here, what will happen?
D1 will be selected now.
D1 will be selected.
D2 will be selected, ma'am.
That's what. But we want D1 to be selected, no? Then what change I should do? Tell me. What change I should do?
S1 should be 1, S0 should be 0. S1 should be 1 and S0 should be 0.
Say louder.
Ma'am, S1 should be 1 and S0 should be 0.
S1 should be 1 and S0 should be 0. Right? Okay. So, but we don't have habit of seeing it that way, right? We don't have habit of seeing it that way. We have habit of seeing S0 as LSB and S1 as MSB. Now I will do a small change.
Ma'am, you can put a NOT gate in the S of.
No NOT gate allowed. Okay, we can do without NOT gate. Because we can do without NOT gate, we will not use NOT gate. So I am doing a change and see, tell me whether things will work or not. If I call this as S1, okay, and if I call this as S0, see whether my purpose is getting solved or not. Just see whether my purpose is getting solved or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it getting solved?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you can see if S1 is 1, if S1 is 0, as you can see here, if S1 is 0, still this dotted line connection is true. And if S0 is 1, if this connection is true, anyway my M2 is disconnected till now, still it is disconnected. But if S0 is 1, connection establishes from D1 to the output. So now it becomes okay, right? I have habit of seeing D1 for 0, 1, right? I have habit of seeing that and I don't want to change my habit. Now you see, if I make it as 1, 0, will D2 get connected? Will D2 get connected if I make it as 1, 0? Analyze and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let me show to others also who have still not analyzed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If S1 is 1, what will happen? The connection is establishing between the second input to the output. And this M1 is waste now, not connected. Now S1 is 1, this is getting connected to that. But when S0 is 0, D2 gets connected here. So the connection is from D2 to output to here to Y, right? So we are able to get D2 here. Whoever is not able to analyze it this fast should revisit this and check. But this is very important. Now when I say 1, 1, here this is also 1, this is also 1. So last D3 get connected here and this get connected. So D3 to Y connection get established. D3 to Y connection get established. Is this clear now? Is this clear? So this is how you show the connection of 2:1 mux for 4:1 mux. So this is the connection. Okay. Now what you understand, your MSB is coming to the output side and your LSB is going to the input side. This you have to remember forever. So many cascading you will see, and you should see that always MSB goes to right and LSB comes to left. Now with this information, I want you to make the second part is 8:1 mux, 8:1 mux using 2:1 mux. I want you to analyze and tell me this. I will not show the connection, but I will show the boxes. I will show at least, okay, because time is up also. Now can you tell me in the first layer, see this is called as first layer. In 4:1 mux using 2:1 mux, we have only 2 layer. But now in this question, second question, we will have 3 layers. So can you tell me how many mux will be there in the first layer?
4, ma'am.
Yes. Why 4? Because each one is 2:1 mux. Each one is 2:1 mux, and I need 8 inputs. So I need 4 2:1. So I need my D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7. So like this, I should have my 4 mux in the first layer. I need 4 mux in the first layer. Of course, all the 4 mux will come with its own select line, right? Now, output will have how many mux? Only 1 mux. Where these outputs will go? Where these outputs will go?
Now to 2 other muxes.
Yes. A second layer will come. A second layer will come, which will be having again this 2:1 mux. I am not giving name for their input. Intermediate inputs, input output, I am not giving any name. Again, this will also have its own output, and these both will go to third layer, 2:1 mux. Output you will get, and this will be your Y. So Y and 8 input. So 8:1 mux I told. I got my 8 input and I got my 1 output. 8:1 done. Now you have to tell me S0, S1 and S2. This at least I can show you, or I can tell you. I will show the select line this side, okay, for the ease of connectivity. So these two will come to one of the select line. This is one of the select line, and all the 4, all this 4, this one, all this select line and this select line, all this select line will be connected together to one of the S. So mux 1, mux 2, mux 3, mux 4, all the select lines are shorted. Then mux 5 and mux 6 select line is shorted, and last one mux you have. Now I want you to tell me that if I have S2, S1, S0 and a Y here, you all know if it is a 0, 0, 0, D0 should come. If it is 0, 0, 1, D1 to come, and so on. So now you have to tell me where will be S2, where will be S1 and where will be S0. Quickly.
On the third layer, you'll have S2, and the second layer, you'll have S1, and the first layer, you'll have S0.
First layer will have
S0.
S0. Okay, he is telling something. Let us check. If this is S0 and if this is S1 and if this is S2, analyze and tell whether it will work or not. Let us see whether it will work or not. If all are 0, S0, S1, S2, means each mux is connected with its top input. Each mux is connected with top input. So, what to do? Okay, I will show with one dotted line again. Each one is connected to the top input. So, this connection is there. Down one is not connected. Because M6 is not connected, M3 and M4 is also out. M5 is connected. M5 is connected. Now, because S1 is also 0, this is connected. Now, because S1 was 0, top one connected. Now, M2 is also out of connection. So, M2, M3, M4, M6 all are out of connection. Now, only M1 is connected. Now, M1, S0 is also 0. So, D0 gets connected here. So, you can see the connection. D0 to M1 to M5 to M7. M7 and 2Y. So if all are 0, 0, 0, D0 to Y connection is established. Same way if all are 1, 1, 1, D7, M4 to M6 to M7 connection get established. So you can analyze this and see whether this is happening or not. So you will see that it will happen. So now you have seen how to combine. You should also know how to combine a 4:1 mux, means 8:1 mux using 4:1 mux. Okay, can you do it using only 4:1 mux? Anyway, that is your homework. I want you to make the diagram of 8:1 mux using 4:1 mux. Anyway, today is Saturday, you have time. I want you to make this. And if you don't want to scan and upload, you can tell me the connection in your answers. Connection for 8:1 mux to 8:1 mux using 4:1 mux. And the hint is you will have to use something else. Only 4:1 mux will not work. Okay.